Hello, everybody. Can you listen to us?
Sí.
Yes.
Go on slide.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Once again, thank you for being here. And we're going to use the same strategy as the past day, using the full screen for showing and discussing the projects. And then from time to time, start using the camera to comment and answer your questions and discuss about the projects we share. It's okay?
I'm going to write down in the chat. So sometimes I will see like I'm not here, but I'm here.
Okay, well, let's go. Here is the presentation.
So we have used Fabricio questions to start the keynote, and really I don't know. Okay, we are here in Tactical Urbanism workshop for online workshop for DreamHammer.
Sorry, I don't know if it's for the delay. Screen? Yes, okay, now. Hi, Sarah. I think it's pixel now. Can you see the PDF? Okay. Okay, well, the workshop is about tactical urbanism, and it's about new ways of acting in the city with the small do-it-yourself actions, also mixed with the use of some technology like urban hybridization projects.
So at the left of the image we can see the usual pyramid for working or for
Here.
Here at the left, and we are going to explain why we are talking about network design or open peer-to-peer design. So at the right it's the
traditional way of working in every company,
and the right the network design form to work. So
yes.
So why are we showing a bar? Because we think relational social works are better than traditional works. So we are going to work with some pose of view, and each pose of view is one posit of this image. So we are trying to relate all of your posts, trying to make a network design, and we are using the knowledge of some sort of events like hackathons or like
Urban Labs,
like
Breakout,
Barcamp, Pechacucha. So you will find on internet that kind of forms to work.
Remember the last time we talked about network design as a way to share our thoughts, compare it, learn, remix, mash up, and then start working again. So that's why we decided to use for this time some of your posts in the blog for the last week, and use them, mix it up with our selection, so we can all learn and exchange all the things we have researched this week.
And we are going to explain what Massimo Menichinelli explains in his research. We are going to work with a process. We have artifact, subject, object, laws, community, and division of labor. This process usually has an output. So let's explain for students, for Fabricio, for example, how architects are traditional working on projects. Usually, we have a subject, for example, Etel and I, we are, sorry, subject is not correct.
Subject, yes.
So-
Yes.
You and me are subjects?
No.
It's
The subject is the store target.
Okay, so sujeto, ¿cómo se dice?
Sí.
Sorry.
Subject también.
Subject. Okay, sorry. I was wrong. Sorry. So subject is I, you, o sea, me, you, him, she, etc. Object is the dream hammer.
Store target.
Store target. An artifact is the things we are putting on the square. So usually we forget about the down.
The top-down part of the pyramid.
Okay, thank you. There are laws, community, and division of labor. Laws is how we are relating to each other and how we are getting how we get involved on work with others. Community are close groups of people that are working together, and division of labor is who can make who can do
Every part of the work.
So the next slide. Sorry.
Here.
The next.
Oh, sorry.
The next slide shows that every process n to process to n plus 1, have potential shared objects. This kind of potential shared objects is the things we are sharing one to each other. For example, for Hassem or for Fabricio, they are working on one object that is the Dreamhammer square. So
every triangle represents a part of the network, and all of our work share the same object that is the central point of all of our work.
But there's no only two processes. There's the next. There are a lot of processes
that can be interconnected, but working in the same kind of object.
Thank you, Tel. So I think we can go
on
further.
Okay.
So,
as Francesco asked us, this is a reminder of the way we are working in the workshop, so we can then understand better all the projects we have choose. We have divided the workshop in 4 main lines. That is narrative storytelling, community collectives, documentation archive, and open peer-to-peer design or network design.
So we have to go to the video camera.
Okay.
And hello, we have made.
Camera?
Yes.
Hello. Well, now we just want, before starting sharing the projects, to know if all of you have read the post, the booklet, and if you understand what it means, the network design strategy, as we were using Massimo Menichinelli strategy.
So,
anybody has some comments or questions before we go on?
Any question?
Or comments? Here we are. Oh, great. Fabrizio, nice to see you here. Well, if nobody has comments until now, we can go on. I don't think so. Do you think it's complex, Francesco?
Could you share it with us the diagram?
Again, okay. Let's go back and we will... This one? Or the other one?
Quédate. Ponlo en
En the screen?
en 2D.
Ah, okay. Here is the diagram. We don't think it's so complex because maybe the big network looks complex, but if you divide it, all of the elements are the same, just repeated infinitely, to the infinite.
Fabrizio is thinking about. Okay, let's replay. No.
No está aquí en PDF. No.
So,
okay, Francesco. Yes, maybe now we can go on. I think we can go on because talking about Massimo's strategy, but using some kind of practice example will be better. Everybody will understand it better. So let's go. Control L va a hacer. Great. Somewhere screen? Okay. Here we have the screen again. And we will start talking about the first main line, that is narrative storytelling again. Sometimes we like to repeat the main concepts to deeply understand it. And in case anybody of you hasn't been here the last week, no? So we like to remark the importance of stories in every project because it makes you understand deeper and closer the place you're working on.
So, let's go.
Oh. Here is the first story.
Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. About what film are we talking about? So, this is the first sentence of a lot of tales, and here it's like an Star Wars. Okay. So the meaning of this sentence is that sticky stories are going to facilitate the work with other people. Why? Because when we are working with some tools, we are using them in some different kind of ways.
So Paco, we're telling how storytelling gets us closer to the local knowledge and local history of some places. And we love to share this image about Archigrams magazines because maybe they were the most well-known architects that use this kind of storytelling strategy to communicate and to design.
I was trying to explain that storytelling is for trigger imagination and trigger people to. I don't understand what it happens. I have lost the game.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, go on. So, can you start, please?
No, we were remarking again the importance of storytelling and we have noticed that it is one of the points you the group like most, because we have seen how you write and how you research looking projects that are really interesting. So we wanted to remark this quote posted by Sarah in the blog.
Through Sarah.
Yes.
So we are showing at this point the way we want you to work with us. We are going to show some related posts of the last days to work with this content, and trying to
use them and analyze them and think which kind of strategies or inspiration of these projects can be useful for our network design for StarTarget.
So the next image is for Fabrizio. The before one was from Silvia, and we wanted to comment with Fabrizio that your students can do these draws, but they also can do these draws for designing the StarTarget DreamAmar square. And we think it's a good way to start a project to draw some comic, how can I say?
Hand drawing. Or using collage and start brainstorming in... I don't know if the image is... No? Well, it's a good way to start an approach to a project, to try to tell a story that you want to show to the people with your work on that place. In this case, the StarTarget. So part of the work we want you to do, well, or we're all going to do, is to start analyzing the place, trying to tell a story about the StarTarget.
And so much.
Here is the Round Labors project, the Space Buster.
And
I think Paco wants to talk about it because he loves this project.
So Space Busters want to break the present time for inhabitants in New York in 2008, and we love this project because some rules, some social rules, that laws we have spoken at the beginning of the presentation, they are broken. We are here on a basketball
courtyard.
Thank you. And then it appears a van with a big balloon, and then inside the big balloon we can gather people, and they are on public space, but they are working with another rules than the usual rules of basketball courtyards. So
this is a very interesting project because it shows us the flexibility that public space has. Even if you think that this space has been used always in the same way, just like a basketball court, suddenly it appears like an ovni, this balloon there, and it changed everything. So we can now start working, not waiting for the big balloon to appear. We can create this kind of flexibility in our projects. If we take advantage of this kind of knowledge, we can create flexible places.
And the next project we are showing is the New City Reader, and it's from a collaboration between
Storefront for Art and Architecture and the
museum, and it's a temporal diary journal, and Ethel wants to explain it because she loved that project.
Well, as I love publishing projects, and this project involves new ways to read the city, It's a project that we really like because you can see that now it has been a discussion between the digital and the physical tools, and with this project we can see that it's really simple. Sometimes we don't need to be so complex to design good strategies. This project is a recovery of the old way that museums used to communicate their journals, but now they create an interface between the physical and the digital, and you can see it and take your own piece in the new museum, but also you can read it completely through the internet and interact with them via Twitter. So it's maybe all of us, we are used to this kind of tools. So what we want to remark here is not that if we are used to interact with these tools, why don't use these tools to create new public spaces?
And the best thing I like from this project is that they recover some public space tools for communication. So everybody can see this on the
walking on the street.
Mm-hmm. And sorry, go on.
Well.
So this is a project that Francesco and Ecosistema knows because it was from Urban Social Design Experience version 1, and I was the facilitator for @Transeunts, and this is a project that tried to fight with gentrification in Girona city of Catalonia, and the project aims to recover the memory of the neighborhood of San Felix, and with a simple tool of communication like a blackboard, the inhabitants and citizens writes down their memories and share them to a website, and they also mapping where that stories have passed, and at some certain point of the process they have to now.
Sorry for the delays. By the way, we don't know what is happening with the live stream today, but we are here again.
Okay, so at some certain point of the process, how can I say vecinos?
Neighbors?
The neighbors told to Transeunts that they wanted to show up all photos they gather, and
do an exhibition about the memories they have rescued.
But at the end, the best thing of the project is that people join together at the street and start to speak about what is going on the neighborhood. So I think it's a very, very, very good project for trying to communicate narrative and storytelling.
And it's very inspiring to see that we as architects and designers need to understand the local needs and the local people. And in this case, that there were a lot of old people and children that they are not so used to manage digital tools. Well, the people from Transeunts just did a very simple strategy, but being so simple, they had the task to communicate, and it was really effective because people have the feeling that all of them were able to interact and to share and to comment, and the results were magnificent.
So, basketball courts.
This is a very, maybe very simple project again. It's by artist Harmen de Hoop, and what he is doing in some European cities, it's to trying to find unused spaces and draw in the floor some basketball courts. Which is the importance of a project like that? We think that the importance is maybe not only the action of drawing, because some of these spaces are not used as a basketball court, even if they have the draw. The most important thing of this is that these artists call up the people's attention to this space and make them react and rethink that there are spaces that are not being used, and that they can build something there. They can take the chairs outside and start exchanging their life, their comments, simply using the public space. So maybe it's more than a project, it's a call of attention to everybody on how many spaces we have that are really not being used or wasteful, and make us rethink about the...
I like the way the project works with scale, because more or less everybody has been in a basketball
yard,
so everybody can size?
Sí,
can size?
No, can size, medir.
Sí. Sorry.
Can measure.
Can measure, sorry. Can see the size of or measure what public space is using or it's not using. It was not Esto es un solar?
No. It's a different kind of project, because in Esto no es un solar, what they are doing is small actions and interventions reusing the public space. We can go on. Yes.
So, what is that about? Cargo Sofia X is a project of Rimini Protocol. They are working on theater projects, not usual theater projects, and I like to show this project in particular. Thanks to Guillem Aloy to discover me this project, and it's so. Just a second.
Okay.
I'm speaking with Francesco through the Gmail chat to
test if the live stream is going well again.
Because we are blind, we have turned off the live stream. So this is a track, and this is a story about two drivers, drivers from Bulgaria, Sofia. This track is not a normal track because you can see the image, and there are some windows on the track. And this track went to Barcelona and did some how can I say recorrido?
All the path
from Barcelona at the left bottom of the image. So. This is a theater, and people is inside the track, and all the east scene is the city. So the stories they are watching at are real stories. At the same time, some voices telling them what is going on and what is not. And at the bottom right of the image, you can see there are some surprises, like a woman singing on a park, on a parking, and I think it's a good project to finish about speaking about storytelling and narrative.
It's a wonderful project because it showed us two different things: the way people use the street as a place to performance, Okay, as a place to performance, but also it shows us that we can see the city through different eyes that we are always used. Uh, just putting this window in the truck, we have a completely different perception of the city, and can have the feeling that there are always a theater performance out there, and this happens every day in all places, so it's a very wonderful project.
Go on.
Here we are supposed to do another pause. Can we go
Sí.
to the screen? Okay.
The screen.
We have finished the storytelling part, and we want to see if you have some comments, any questions about the approach, like about drawing comics, about perceiving and telling stories in the city as a way of making architectural design. What do you think about it? Best theater ever, Francesco. I like this definition. Okay, great. A small pause before going to the community collective projects, just to know if you have any further comments about this storytelling approach. Sara, Fabrizio, Silvia, Hasem. Yes, Fabrizio is asking if these can be examples of tactical urbanism. We do think so, Fabrizio, because they are projects that are not big projects. By the way, all of them are small actions that make us simply have a new perception of our life in the cities and the uses of public space. And this is the main basis or the main focus of tactical urbanism.
In my opinion, we are trying to show some kind of projects that reflects what things are we living out of our usual way to work. So tactical urbanism is a new how can I say?
A new approach?
A new approach, and we have to refine this approach with discussion, with trying to reflect. But the first aim is to reflect what are we living out in the last 20 years of architectural projects or urban projects. We can read again. ¿Cómo se llama ella? 70s New York.
Low Paper? Mimi Seeger?
No, Mimi Seeger, no.
Jane Jacobs.
Jane Jacobs. We can read again Jane Jacobs, but some sort of things have changed. Internet didn't exist in the 70s, and now we have internet. And this internet culture is changing the way the people is thinking about the city. And some cultural projects, some art projects are approaching better to gain people to participate than traditional projects of architecture or urban planning.
And one of the most important things about these projects is that mainly all of them are done not by architects, but by, I don't know, artists, local people, sociologists. So it's a way also to rethink how we can interact as architects with other practices and to have a better approach of the city. Something else? I think we go. Should we go on because of the time? Network design is all about making the object and the subject the same thing. Yes, well, by the way, I think we agree with that. And that's why for us it's so important to understand the place. Because if we're going to design an object and it will be the subject at the same time, we really need to understand the context where we're going to act. So here comes the importance of the public space, the local people, other similar practices that have taken place there. I do agree, Francesco, and it just remarks the importance of understanding how the street and the public space is it's acting and their life.
For the record, it's the best chat of all time we have made.
Who says that? You?
About the comics and design, could the story be how the design was made through the collaborative network design plus the story of the object? As the object and subject.
I don't know. Could the story be how the design was? Well, by the way, we're not suggesting that everybody should design a comic book. It was just, Hassem, just an example of how can you make, take your ideas out of your brain, start drawing and drawing the history you want to happen in that place. And if you understand the history you want to happen in that place, you can create the object and the artifact for this history to happen. Maybe that's what we meant with the comic.
And a comic is a better way to communicate with people than a blueprint architectural drawing.
Mm.
It's easier to share ideas with a comic than a blueprint of an architectural project.
Yes, you can communicate with. We have talked a lot about transversality and other practices, and with this kind of communication, you can get closer to the understanding of the local people, but also to other practices, as we always say, to sociologists, anthropologists, artists. So maybe we didn't explain it well, but we didn't mean that you have to draw a comic. Just is an example of how you can think and communicate your ideas, and for your own approach. What I was telling, if you know which idea you want to tell, you can create the context for this idea to happen.
So let's continue.
Yes? Okay. Well, here we go again.
Sí.
Well, we have a small time, so the second main line is community collaborative, and I think we have explaining very well this. Network design is all about community. So I think we are going to share these quotes in the blog, maybe better, and go to the projects. Yes?
Just two things. Collective is an open form to participate, and a community you have to belong to it. So this PDF is shared in the last post. We have used it for recommended lecture, and let's go with the projects. So here it is, the Congreso de los Diputados in Madrid, and this is InsideOutProject.net. Silvia shared it at the post, and we think this image represents that some people is tired about what the government and what municipalities are doing right now, and they have to participate. okay, you write down it and you share to people, but this kind of image is more powerful than all the stuff you can write.
Well, by the way, if I can interrupt a little bit, is mostly the same idea that the big work that Bansky is doing in the wall between Israel and Palestine.
Okay,
no?
It's fine.
Yes, because the people has the power, and you can have a different perception if you look at the faces of the people, because now the people affected has a name, has eyes, has hair, and you have a different perception of the problems and try to react to that.
And now I'm saying that Dream Mammals is working on this, and we hope so. So sometimes you belong to a community and you only belong to this community, but you may belong to a various collective. So this is from Hasem. This is the community from the High Line in New York, and let's go because we have only 10 minutes with Bryant Park, also in New York. That is a public space managed by a non-profit organization, and we wanted to share with you that sometimes institutions have to change their mind, not only people or not only citizens, and sometimes they have to bet trying to make things in a different way. So this public space, this park, it's like a facility. They have a calendar, they have events, they have free chair. You can move them from one point to another. And the aim of this project was to get lively this place, because in the 1970s it was a dangerous place. So
it is very interesting because this project mixes up both concepts. It's managed by a community, the non-profit organization, but it's used and take life through the collaborative approach of everybody who is using, moving the chairs, contacting the artist who is going to sing there. So it mixes up both concepts, and it's a good example of how a public space can be used and managed.
So
this project we have
speak a little
bit, yes, a little bit. We wanted to show the Wiki House because it is deeply related with the network design process, as it's a collaborative project. At our first instance, we were thinking to show the Shanghai Earth Tree by Ecosistema Urbano, but as we thought that you may all know that project, as we are working for Ecosistema Urbano, or with Ecosistema Urbano, we decided to change the project and show this Wiki House. The project has been created to participate in the Biennale from Korea. And it's very wonderful because they designed this a small house. But what is wonderful about the project is not the design, it's the approach. They have designed the small drawings and all the tools, like in an IKEA instructions pamphlet, and you can create the same project being everywhere in the world. But also you can redesign it depending on your local needs or whatever you want to use it. If you want to make it bigger, make it smaller, and you can then upload your new design, remix it, and share it again. So all the people, it's a win-to-win relationship between all the people who is working via the internet in the same design, because the design is always changing. It's a flexible design, and it is adapted to the local needs of every place it is used.
It's fine.
So, and well, that's all, and maybe it's the thing we need to do in some kind of places like the Storterget. This workshop ends with an idea, but maybe our approach needs to be a flexible idea that people can take, reuse, remake, upload again, share it again, remix. I think the main concept here is flexibility.
I think you have told everything about this. So,
Okay.
let's continue. La Ciudad Jubilada from Pau Faus is a mapping of the labor of the all people, yeah?
Yes,
all people from Barcelona that they are working on the rivers of Barcelona. They have here there are peripheric rivers.
Yes.
And these old people is making gardens, working on them, and Pau Faus has mapped them out and share a great PDF with this project. And this project we are sharing here because Old People is a very important collective because they have time to make things, because they are out of the labor
The work
market,
system, yes.
and they can share knowledge about cities that this is very important, and they can also play with other people like children. So
Yes, they are at the same time using their time and don't feel like some old person that may feel bad without working, but at the same time they are creating a safe environment around there and taking advantage of the abandoned places in the periphery.
next project.
Better block. Well, this is a project because I remember the last session we were talking about the importance also to work with digital tools and physical tools as an example of the same thing we are doing right now with people from everywhere, all of us collaborating and contributing to the creating of Stortorget. So this is just an example of how people in this project called Better Block interacts with the blocks they live, sharing ideas, creating new spaces, and also making an archive, a cartography of these actions. So other people in other places can consult the archive, can realize if this idea is adequate to the place they are living, and if they can use it in some other places. So the concept of making actions in the city, but at the same time making an archive and sharing it through the internet, it's a really good concept to have the task and to make all people around the world to be able to consult and to use this kind of tools. So I don't know if we can...
Yeah.
Well,
Let's go.
this is the last project, so it will be a very brief explanation. This is a collective from Mexico City called Anti-Museum, and what they have realized is that in Mexico City, the access to cultural installation and to cultural places, it's very expensive. As in most all Latin American places, not everywhere, but in mostly all of them. So they wanted to take the art to the street. But the most interesting thing about this is that for taking out the art to the street, they didn't want to be the curators because they want to give people the chance to interact and to share what for the local people is art. So they build this structure based in the tacos vending devices, and
Cultural taco devices.
yes. And what they did is from week to week they give as a loan the device to to the people that requested it. And it was really funny to see the archive of how people uses it. For example, for this girl, the culture of her neighborhood, it's all about gardening, guerrilla gardening, and trying to give some green life to the neighborhood. But this other that I am showing are more activist and more like a guerrilla action, because there are some lot of political and social problems in Mexico City with the security and everything. So the work of art was traveling from place to place with these posters and sharing to the people their ideas of how to interact with politicians. And the final stage was to take the anti-museo, the portable museum, in front of the city council, to make a political statement of their work. So we think it's a really nice project.
So, for ending this rush, we are going to ask you the same question. What will you do in the store target? And tell us how you want DreamAmar to be. And in the next hour, we are going to share
in the
Hangout and here in live stream for people who is not in the Hangout, the descriptions of our curated projects. One by one person 3 minutes to talk about your selected projects, and then 2 minutes to listen and to talk. We have the best of the best chat of all time, really. And for the next week, for the record, we are going to work with documentation and archive, open peer-to-peer design and network design projects. Share the projects in the blog of DreamAmar, and
remember, not only share your research, just keep also sharing your ideas and your design, so we can collect all the ideas that we can have from the store target properly. Research to get inspiration, and then also share and exchange your projects and ideas in the format you like: film, collage, drawings, comics, whatever you want.
You can also comment
on the post.
So let's stop for 3 minutes to change to Google Hangout, and let's see you in 3 minutes.
Okay.
See you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.